What do you notice about the two cells? Obviously, they're different for many reasons. One is bigger than the other, one has more parts, and one has a more geonomic shape than the other. So today we're going to be learning about prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. Eu rhymes with you. Just think, you are a eukaryotic organism because you have more than one type of cell. You have hair cells, skin cells, muscle cells, blood cells, nerve cells, and reproduction cells. Eukaryotic cells have a nucleus. They have all these different organelles, and they're the larger type of cell. It is believed that eukaryotic cells evolved from prokaryotic cells, but we'll learn about that later. Some examples of eukaryotic cells include plants, animals, and fungi. Basically, if you can see it, then it's made of more than one cell. That allows you to see it. And if it's made of more than one cell, then it is a eukaryotic organism. Prokaryotic cells, on the other hand, pro rhymes with no, because prokaryotic cells do not have a nucleus, and they do not have organelles. They're basically just DNA and ribosomes inside of a shell. Prokaryotics are only one cell. They do not have hair cells or skin cells or blood cells. It's just one type of cell. And because it's only one cell, you can only see it underneath a microscope. Prokaryotic cells are the oldest cell type, and these include bacteria and archaea. Spontaneous generation is the idea that living things came from or evolved from non-living things. Can you imagine if a slice of bread just suddenly turned into ants? Well, that was what scientists really early on thought. Until this guy, Francesco Redi, did an experiment to prove that that's not the case. So Francesco Redi was the first scientist to try to prove that living things do not come from non-living things. So he put a slice of meat inside of a jar to figure out whether or not that meat would turn into the flies. So he had one jar open, and then he covered up another jar. And with this experiment, he basically proved that non-living things do not just turn into living things. Louis Pasteur is the last scientist that proved it once and for all that living things do not come from non-living things. The endosymbiosis theory is the idea that eukaryotic cells evolved from prokaryotic cells. The fossil record provides us with evidence of the first organisms on Earth were prokaryotic. So we can find traces of these organisms in fossils, and they are only single cellular. The evolution of the eukaryotic cell. Scientists believe that a larger prokaryotic cell basically ate a smaller prokaryotic cell, and eventually, over time, that kind of evolved into the eukaryotic cell. So one of the first prokaryotic cells were actually just the mitochondria and the chloroplast. Well, actually, the chloroplast was the first official prokaryotic cell that existed, and it's believed that this chloroplast kind of ate another one or ate the mitochondria. So it kind of bounded together, it combined together, and created a eukaryotic organism or the eukaryotic cell. And some more discoveries. Scientists have observed some similarities between mitochondria, chloroplasts, and prokaryotic cells. Some of the similarities are that they each contain circular DNA, so they each have their own type of DNA inside of them. They're all made of ribosomes. They do not have a nucleus in any of them. And they reproduce by binary fission. I hope you found that helpful. Thank you for watching.